Greetings, Slackers. September Man here, and it is August the 6th, 2017. I'm over here on RT with an article I want to share with you. And, this is one of those articles where, hey, look, we all like sex, right? So let's just be honest and upfront. But sometimes the fantasy goes a little too far. And in this story, you're going to learn about just such a sexual misadventure. Man sentenced to 10 years in jail for shooting woman in the vagina. And it goes on to say here that a British man has been sentenced to 10 years in jail after inserting a loaded antique shotgun into the vagina of a sexual partner and causing, quote, life-changing injuries after the gun accidentally went off. Davis Andrew Jeffers, 47, and the woman, 46, known as Jay, in the Manchester Minchell Street Crown Court proceedings, were engaged in sexual activity in a room at the Britannia Hotel in Stockport in the early hours of January 31st when the incident occurred. The weapon used to carry out what Jeffers alleged was the woman's sexual fantasy was described as an antique shotgun roughly the size of a small pistol used to kill vermin. Quote, you, Mr. Jeffers, had deliberately placed the firearm inside Jay's vagina, Judge John Potter said as cited by the Manchester Evening News. It goes without saying that Jay was lucky to survive the horrendous injuries that were caused. You prioritized your own self-centered needs above that of a seriously injured woman, lying helplessly naked in a bed who, for all you knew, may have been close to death. Jeffers was initially charged with attempted murder and causing grievous bodily harm, but these charges were dropped as there was insufficient evidence. He initially claimed he had discovered the weapon in a pub toilet, but later said he found it in the woods. Now, let me just stop right there and just say, you wonder, did he sanitize the gun prior to putting it inside of her? Because if not, that's just foul, right? Anyways, going on here. In the immediate aftermath of the gunshot, Jeffers called the emergency services and the hotel's front desk before fleeing, dumping the weapon, which has yet to be retrieved, in a bin on the streets before boarding a train back to Leeds, where he is from. Your response thereafter was to try and save yourself from being caught, Judge Potter added. The woman told the manager, quote, I've been shot. I'm in agony. I'm going to die. Before she was rushed to Manchester Royal Infirmary for life-saving emergency surgery. She sustained significant damage to her bladder, vagina, and uterus, but is expected to survive. It is one of the most shocking sets of circumstances that I have encountered, and I hope that this sentence can help offer some closure. Detective Inspector Roger Edwards from GMP's Stockport Division said, as cited by The Independent. Jeffers left the victim badly bleeding in a hotel room, showing no regard for her life, Edwards added. Jay's injuries are life-threatening, and having to cope with them will remain with her for the rest of her life, Judge Potter added in his closing remarks. She has been released from hospital, but her daily life is significantly compromised, and it appears she faces the prospect of further surgery, he concluded. Now, going back up here, he says that it was the woman's sexual fantasy. Because, okay, look, men have fantasies, but a lot of times, too, women have fantasies as well. And we play what? Parts in them. And so, was this a fantasy of hers or was this a fantasy of his? Second, was there any drugs in the mix? I can't speculate as to which drug, but, people who often engage in some of the harder substances definitely like to go out to the extremes and try new things just to ratchet things up a notch, And so, were there any drugs involved here? Because what kind of, I guess you could say, rational and sober person would ever fathom having a loaded gun placed anywhere near one of their open orifices? That's just, hmm. And then, like I said earlier, the fact that he found this gun, he says, in a pub. Where is it at? In a pub toilet, and then later said that he found it in the woods. Well, I mean, if he found it in a pub toilet, you know, what was the condition of the toilet when he pulled it out? Did he sanitize it? Did he clean it up? And then for him to put it inside her, I mean, outside of the gun blast, if that didn't happen, she was going to have to come down with something, some type of infection because, heck, did he sanitize the gun? There's so many questions on this. But folks, when you're going out there, you're meeting people off of dating websites, you are at the bar, or wherever you choose to meet people, and you decide to engage in sexual activity, when it comes to fantasy, be advised that there is a point where things can be taken too far. Sure, it's in all good fun, but when the court catches up with your ass, it's not about how much fun you had, it's about why didn't you stop when you had the chance. Anyways, I'm going to put the link to this down in the description box. Share with me your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. And that's going to do it for this article and this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Did you enjoy this video and find it informative? Subscribe to the Slackers Method and click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to receive all the latest notifications for when I upload new videos.